Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for holding today's markup. The day after a joint session of Congress heard from President Zelensky in a very stirring, very moving speech, I'm grateful that we're having this markup. I want to commend the chair for unifying the committee to ensure that we remain focused on this important moment in history, to hold Russia accountable and to help the Ukrainian people. This is how legislating should be done, right? We want to tackle a problem. Let's go figure out what we can agree upon and do those things first. There are a lot of other ideas that both the Republicans had, a lot of other ideas that Democrats had, but we came to terms on a set of bills today that I think will be precisely the signal that our committee should be sending the day after the Ukrainian president called on Congress to put American values into action by stepping up our support for his people. This humanitarian crisis has forced over 3 million people, half of them children, to flee their homeland. We need to act. Here we have 4 smart, thoughtful bills, 2 Democrat, 2 Republican, truly bipartisan, that will make a difference for Ukraine and its people. First and foremost, the U.S. must maintain a firm, long-term commitment to cutting off Russia from global trade and financial markets. And not just because of Russia. China is watching too. Any sign of weakness or unwillingness to support our allies will be noted and potentially exploited. To their credit, the administration's sanctions are helping to isolate the Russian economy. The value of the ruble is plummeting. Russia's credit rating is now junk. Their debt is coming due, and the coffers are tapped. It's Congress's job now, and specifically that of this committee, to keep the pressure on. And so it is incumbent upon the Congress and this committee to put pressure on the administration. It's incumbent upon the administration to put pressure on our allies to coordinate this effort around sanctions and addressing Russia. And to have a little bit of tension within the American government to say we need to do more, I think is good. And I think that's what the administration should hear, that there's a bipartisan willingness to do more. But I want to commend the administration for the actions that they have taken and the coordination that they've led with our European allies and global allies. Today, this committee will tackle a number of things. We'll institute global debt payment relief for Ukraine so the country can prioritize humanitarian defense spending. Ban U.S. transactions with sanctioned Russian entities. Exclude Russia from the G20, Bank of International Settlements, and other international financial bodies' proceedings. Halt Russia from accessing hard currency through the IMF. These are things that we're going to do together. These are good and necessary legislative efforts to hold Russia accountable for their actions. We have a difference of opinion on the 5th bill in today's markup, which I believe goes further than what is necessary to address the emergency in Ukraine and could expand FinCEN's reach into everyday activities of ordinary Americans, from home buyers to small business owners. We have concerns here. But this is how the legislative process should work. I'll air my differences when we have that debate. We came together on 4 bills. I want to commend the chair for her willingness to undertake that. When you're in the majority, you are in the majority. You have the votes to do and proceed here in the House with your agenda. The Senate has a different view. It's difficult to legislate. But when we come together in this committee in a bipartisan way, we can bring the Senate along. Chairwoman Waters, I want to thank you for your approach here. And I know it is a tough undertaking when you're in the majority to have those conversations where we have to drive consensus. And I think we have consensus here today on 4 bills. And we're coming together to offer ideas and solutions to address the most pressing issues. And where we agree, we should work together, and we're doing that. And where we don't, we should keep working to find common ground, and we're going to do that as well. And again, I want to thank the chair for today's markup and showing the leadership on behalf of our American government, on our American citizens, to do the right thing for our friends and allies globally. Thank you, and I yield back.
Thank